Arutera, the literal art god lording above us, raining down the occasional gems to gawk at. I'm an aspiring manga artist, and I'm praying to Arutera for his liquids. And trust me, I'm thirsty. It was a typical day scrolling on Pixiv, and I spotted the most enticing collection of anime girls I've seen put on a screen. And that's saying a lot considering the 15 pictures of Tatsumaki I have lining my walls. Arutera is good. Good enough to rank in my top 3. So let's steal all that makes him that way. Phase 1. The study. Clearly, Arutera's strongest point is his hair. Ribbons flowing over the hands, the shoulders, and everywhere else you can imagine. Makes his drawings look complex and add 90% of the movement felt by the viewer. That on top of his painterly blended cell shading make his style absolutely perfect for me to learn from. Tatsumaki X Yor and Crimson from my upcoming manga. These two are my best drawings before embarking on this journey. And while Tatsumaki lends herself to a more complex hair, Crimson's is totally flat and boring. And I soft shaded the hell out of it. Some men train hard. Other men hardly train, but I train to make men hard. Arutera will prepare me for the trials and tribulations to become a manga and artist. So let's jump into phase 2, Sunset. As I said, I'm a teeny weeny little boy who can't even sketch reliably unless it's on paper. So I use this 3D model from magicposer.com to speed things up. Remember, our brains are small. Focus on one thing at a time. Like when I zone out thinking about slamming my Honda Accord into oncoming traffic. Channeling that, this time I focus on having a successful cell shade. My spaz brain days are over. No more of mommy's iPad and no more kicking of the feet. And even when my brain can't take the pain anymore, I will not ask if she has games on her phone. Ah yes, that's the mind of a blur tool user. Blur the pain away no more. Color picking Arutera's pieces, I can see this huge shift I've been hearing about. Makes the colors pop and feel more realistic. Amazingly, I have never tried this in my many years of drawing. But I tried it on my Sunset girl. I haven't felt my colors pop, yet flow like this ever before. Usually I wing my colors more than your mother wings her life choices. But with a little planning, I have a happy little family of colors instead of a broken one. I tried adding these flats in like I typically do, but then I remembered a video I watched recently of trying to start with a shaded base and add light. So I darkened my flats and I added this light with a warmer hue, since the light source would be the sun in this case. Actually looks nice to me. This drawing shading is starting to look like an Adobe Illustrator filter. It's because with cell shading, these larger surfaces tend to start to look really flat. So I added a second darker shade in the areas like the stomach. Add this screen tone red for blush and quote unquote effect, aka covering up for my lack of texture and pride. Boom, we're done. Although a rare occurrence, I am genuinely happy with how this turned out, but there are many problems. The hair is not like Arutera's at all. Can be more strandy and more interactive with the character, and my clothes and design are boring and the colors don't contrast. I was going to make the dress black, but then I was like, well, what if it was white and soaking wet? Gave up on that idea, unfortunately. I'm just not skilled enough. And goddamn, that's a crime because we all wanted to see that. Probably besides my girlfriend watching this, right? I'm not sure if this is bad or not, but there is way more color in the background than in the character. But since it's contrasting saturations, it's fine. Let me know what you think. So, I needed this second attempt. Final phase, Diva. I decided I will use a character design from people who actually know what they're doing to get a more appealing design, but I tried over and over again and the 3D poses were just garbage this time. Makima would have been perfect color-wise, but woe is me, no Makima today. So, before, in Sunset Girl, I tried this strand art hack with a layer filter, but the tip stood out like my bone in the boys' locker room. So this time I planned the hair out completely from the sketch phase. This is Diva from Overwatch. Already completely throws out the black and white palette Arutera has, and that will be a theme of this drawing. I got a little carried away. The Sunset Girl took me about 4 hours to do, and I wanted to get my drawings down to 2 hours eventually, so I was pretty happy about that time. My Crimson and Tatsumaki pictures took me probably 7 to 9 hours each. So Diva got me spending a little long at the computer screen, and that wouldn't be the first time. Anyways, I have always been a soft shading fiend. To cover up my fear of picking up an anatomy book, I blur everything together. But this time I finally did it right. I did what every teacher tells you, and I looked at references and studied. Who would have thought that I would immediately draw the best stomach I ever have? My color choices are a bit questionable compared to Sunset Girl, but I saved time by eye dropping instead of hue shifting, and I'll take that trade-off. At this point, I'm already nearing my time limit. While I had the energy to draw Sunset Girl in one sitting, I had to do Diva 2 days in a row. Best shorts I've shaded too. The light angle was easy to understand, but the shirt confuses the heck out of me. I committed a grave sin once again and kinda just blended randomly and extremely until it kinda sorta looked alright. Now let's move on and not look back. The face, the eyes, 2 huge weak points of mine, and don't even get me started on men's bodies. But that's for another video. In the end, I think that the face and eyes are holding this picture back significantly, so that's what the next video is about for sure. At least the nose light is cool. Moving swiftly on to the second most daunting part of the picture, the hair. In Sunset Girl, the hair shading was my weakest point, and it's one of Arutera's strongest points, so I had to improve there. That's the point. I start with the light. It actually makes imagining the shadows so much easier. I used to draw shadows first and then light. That is a terrible method. Definitely try this. It makes things 10 times easier. Something I forgot to add here, mostly out of fear, was Arutera's highly saturated hair highlights, signature to their style. But instead, I tried this last trick I saw around, which was to make the back hair bright in order to clearly define the body silhouette. It's a bit too bright. I didn't think about it too much, but I think it was the right choice and better than brown. Add the gym background and add the noise filter over the top that I was probably supposed to put a multiply layer on. And voila, we are done. Mouth open, tongue out, I got a few drops of Arutera's skill and style. Recapping, Sunset Girl is my favorite for sure. I'd say out of all the drawings I've ever done, it's my favorite. Diva just didn't turn out how I wanted it to, and this soft shading I got carried away with is not how I want my art to look in the future at all. Now, I'm uploading every week, so if you want to get better, then subscribe, because next time we're learning the face and eyes. Bye!